Hi, my name is Beth Berry. I'm Vice President of Business Development for Real Green Systems. We are based in Walled Lake, Michigan. We are a sales and integrated marketing company serving the green industry. Today on Impact Live, I have Dave Boulter. Dave is a peer of mine at Real Green. Dave is Vice President of Print, and I can't remember your whole new title, Dave, so I'll let you introduce yourself. But what we're finding during this COVID event is that there's a brand new playbook for marketing, so to speak, and a timeline and schedule that's unlike any I've seen in the last 30 years. So I wanted to pick your brain today to find out how we can leverage the disruption and really take advantage of an event that is causing a lot of harm in other aspects of the service industry, but many of our customers are telling us they're having record years. So introduce yourself, Dave, and tell us how long you've been at Real Green and what you and your team do.
All right. Well, I've been with Real Green almost 30 years, officially 20 years. I am one of the partners with Joe Cusick going way back to when, and have been running the print and marketing division since about 2000 officially. Don't come from the lawn care industry, but come from the printing world, and I used to sell to Joe as an outside print sales vendor, and we joined forces in 2000 and have been helping our lawn care customers grow their business through print and direct mail and list services ever since.
That's very exciting. So I would say in the last couple of years, I would hear in the industry mixed results on direct mail. Let's start with just direct mail in general. And postcards seem to do very well, but some of the traditional types of direct mail seem to be waning, and either it was waning or there were just new digital opportunities for folks to take advantage of with a marketing budget, so they felt like those were stronger, and we offer both at Real Green. But I have heard from every person I've talked to that's done any direct mail this year that there is unprecedented shelf life with direct mail, whether it hit in February and you may have had snow, or it hit mid-March, right when folks were going into quarantine, that homeowners are actually at home, they're reading their mail, they are out on the lawns, it is the outdoor living room, and they want to invest in the only area they can go to, so it's a staycation. Can you speak to what our customers are telling you about direct mail right now?
Well, direct mail to me has always been a viable way of reaching our customers and our prospects in the lawn care industry. It's always been a proven model, and over the years, what I've had to do is try to help challenge that. It's too expensive, you don't get a strong results on it. So I've spent a lot of efforts in trying to look at the analytics and track the results and help customers look at that. So you can get a great ROI and a strong return on direct mail. But one of the things that's changed in the direct mail world these days than what used to be 10, 15 years ago is the call to action to direct mail is a little bit different. So 10 years ago, you would send out a direct mail piece, and it was, hey, call us up for a free, no obligation estimate, and you would get that phone call and that sales estimate. Today, really, the call to action is a lot quicker and a lot more of a direct response. It's basically, hey, we're here, we've got a great offer for you. Go to our website and check us out and see how cool we are. So, and it works very well in that one. We've been doing direct mail the last several years. We've focused more on a direct pricing letter. So we're actually sending that customer a marketing piece that has their full program, an offer, an upsell, a discount, a savings. It gives them all of the pieces of information that they need to make a buying decision quickly. So, and those mail pieces are generating very good results. Anywhere from 0.5% to up to 1% response rate and sell-through rate, because we're saying, hey, write us a check, call us today, or go online and sign up. So it's actually a sell-through rate, and we're having very positive results through that. During this time this year, it's, we start selling mail probably in late January. And usually you're right, Beth, in probably around mid or early to mid-April, that new acquisition cycle is winding down. But with the people at home and in the north, we've had a lot of cold still and snow and everything still going on. So, and then during the Corona thing, customers just kind of went on hold and went in limbo for most of April. And now they're all coming out of the woodwork, and we're seeing some really strong results. We're actually getting phone calls from customers calling us up and go, Dave, that mail piece did great last week, and man, that was awesome. Last week I mailed over 1 million pieces of mail just last week.
Wow. And tell us, does the post office, are they running at full speed, or are there any issues right now, counting on them to get it delivered for us?
They are working, most of the country is working very well. There's a few spots here and there that post offices, that they get hit with any type of Corona, they're operating at less capacity. But overall, we're not seeing too many issues with that. Maybe some delay. Normally a mail cycle is about a 4 to 5 working day window where it'll hit homes. Maybe a few that are taking a little bit longer than that, but nothing drastic.
2 beginner questions for you. So let's say I came to you with a direct mail marketing budget. Would you recommend that I do postcards or the actual letters in an envelope with a customer's name on it? It seems like I've heard mixed results on both. I know as a homeowner, I'm going to see the postcard because I pulled it out of the mailbox, so it catches my attention. And it better be something that piques my interest if I take the time to cut my finger opening up the envelope. So tell me what your thoughts are on that.
I personally am a fan of the letter. Mail today, the key to it is personalization and getting, specific information to that person, putting their name on that letter, on that envelope. It's addressed to them. Anything you can do to make that personal connection in the mail piece and not make it seem general and generic and mass produced is really the best way that works. Usually what I tell customers is, if you have not done a lot of mail in the past, then I would recommend you do letters. It's a learning curve. You're really selling your brand, and any marketing you do, they have to know who you are. They have to make a connection between that mail piece and those trucks driving around town and those posting signs that are everywhere. Once they realize that, wow, this company is a big player in my area, they're everywhere, then you have a lot more brand recognition. And that's a couple of years in mail doing letters, which I think are more personal to them, makes them open it and see what's inside. Those are the customers that I then start saying, okay, well, we've already established who we are. We're established that we send you a marketing letter every year. So I think it's okay to start sending postcards. So this year, postcards and letters did both very well in terms of response rates. And, I think that the answer to that question really comes to how well known you are on the market. Okay. Yeah.
Got it. How well the customers know you. So there was all a buzz about EDDM a couple of years ago, every door direct mail. Tell us about that, and is that something that Real Green still recommends as a viable option?
So EDDMs in the lawn care world is a great way of reaching customers. There's a couple challenges with it because you can't weed out who your active customers are. So one problem is you're sending new offers to active customers that are in those carrier routes and stuff. It's a very inexpensive way of getting your message out and your name out. It can be targeted, but it can also not be targeted. I mean, when I say targeted, you can focus on a subdivision or a specific, mail carrier route is how that really works, and target it that way. But you can't weed out those customers that are in there. From a response rate or a return on investment, it's usually a lot lower, again, because it's a generic piece. You can't put any personalization, you can't put pricing on there. All you can do is make an effort to say, hey, we're here, we've got a special offer for you. So, part of the direct mail option is you want to create a path of least resistance. So an EDM is, okay, hey, give me a call and we can work out a special price for you, as opposed to those direct mails or a postcard or a letter where you actually have more of that personal information on it, the pricing. Your sales cycle is a lot quicker and easier for them to accomplish. So so the EDDMs don't generate as much of a response rate. I love EDDMs as one of those branding tools, though. Hey, we're in this area, so it's you've always heard the marketing adage that you need to put your message in front of a customer 7 times or 11 times before it registers. So EDDMs are a great tool for some brand recognition. Another place that I really love EDDMs would be mosquito upsell promotions, or something that's a lot more of a prominent need-based type of a sale. Everybody, when they see a mosquito postcard, I have to have that mosquito service. So, it generates a lot of response that way. So.
And can you differentiate when you order EDDM? I know it's by postal carrier route, but can you do residential versus business, or is it always combined?
You have the option to eliminate businesses from that, either or both, yes.
Very good, very good. And so if from a customer acquisition perspective, you're a big proponent of the personalized letter with their name and the price. Would you recommend the price as well?
Yes, I highly recommend putting the prices on there. It works great. It answers all their questions. The only place that it really doesn't work from putting that price on there is if you're considered extremely high priced or a high value service that you can scare them away. Consumers tend to know what their lawn care service is going to cost them. So if you come in $10, $15 high, you don't get a second chance. They're going to see that price and they're just going to call it a day, and you're not going to get that call. So you do have to ask yourself that question. If you're competitive, then it's okay, that's a price I can live with. That's a strong offer, and I see that company all the time. So that's who I'm going to go with.
I don't know if you recall Marcus Sheridan, who was at Solutions a couple of years ago. He's a marketing speaker, but he said he is a proponent of leading with price everywhere on your website. At the end of the day, unless you are going to highly negotiate that price, customers usually know who you are, or they can discover that on your website. They're going there for price. So get that out of the way. Do you want to spend 15 minutes with a salesperson on the phone, or do you want to send someone to that person's home to identify that they're too price sensitive to be your customer? Probably not.
Right.
Excellent. And tell me, if you're already a customer, what are some of the best courses of mail for upselling? So we've had a lot of success helping our customers move into the mosquito space. What are the best ways one of our green industry companies can add mosquito as a service line?
So any upsell that you can target your active customers base to, any way you market to them or promote to them is going to be a win-win situation. The ROI, the return on investment of any active upsell campaign is off the charts. So direct mail is a great way. You cannot go wrong sending your active customers a grub upsell letter, a mosquito upsell letter, or an aeration service upsell letter. The return on those is 4, 10, up to 10%. I've seen them as high as that. A great way of doing that. Mosquito, again, that's one of those easy ones. It's one of those benefit services that I instantly know the value of it. I instantly know what I get out of it. So whether that is on an EDDM or a letter or an email, as long as I make a connection that your company does that service and I need that service, it sparks that phone call and that order.
So I have looked at lots of marketing pieces in 30 years in the lawn care industry. And when I worked at Scott's Miracle Grow, the tagline was making America beautiful, one line at a time. But if you speak to how to reframe marketing verbiage during COVID, I do think that the words protect, if you think about why someone may decide to continue service this summer, and we're talking about mosquito, protect, health, I think those are words that, not to play upon fear, but certainly are reasons to reinforce why our customers, homeowners would want to use our customers' services. Do you see that being used in particular in the mosquito service line? Do they talk about, because you see all the different pieces? And I loved it when we were in Michigan, because I could hang out next to the printer and just watch all the different types of advertisements come by. But do we see our clients being successful when they speak to protecting their children, protecting their pets, Zika, mosquito borne?
Yeah. Any mail piece or marketing piece, what you're trying to do is to solve a problem. So protecting my family is an emotional benefit that a mosquito services gets from that. So for me wanting to protect my family and you saying, hey, you have a mosquito service that will help me do that, then I have instant connection, and that solves my problem. So any type of an emotional buy like that is really what you're selling that service on. So protecting is one of those, that would be how you tap into that emotional feeling for them and make them, well, that solves my problem, I'm going to make a phone call.
I sat through a webinar on Friday about nuanced messaging and marketing amidst COVID, and how to maybe reframe marketing. And it talked about perhaps swapping out visuals if you had marketing pieces in crowds. We're so lucky, Dave, because all the visuals I see are usually a dog on the lawn, a mom with a couple kids, and that's the way we go to business. So as I was checking off on the list of things that we would maybe need to coach our customers on, we're pretty much there. But they did talk about evaluating language, and even from the protection standpoint, we know it's important that homeowners protect their real estate value right now. So aside from the mosquito side, I think that's really important as well.
Yeah. And
so
I think part of that is, we're seeing such a spike in direct mail and positive results from customers, and that sales cycle extending now is because we're all here at home and we're looking out our backyard window all day long. So that, that emotional, I want my yard to look nice, is so much stronger right now.
That's a fact. So here we are the first week of May, and typically you and I are in a seasonal business, but by now, especially when we talk about direct mail, you're doing upsell campaigns, but there's a cadence to the way we go to work and the way we serve our customers. That's certainly shifted. You wouldn't start thinking about your big mail campaigns until fall, or as your team does the 2021 planners for our free marketing seminars. But now it's like the calendar is completely different. I have customers calling me every day saying, I'm going back at direct mail and it's May 4th and I'm coming up with a plan. One of the smartest ways your team has counseled our customers before they spend that first dollar in direct mail is it's the decile. So tell me about the decile process, and that if you're going to spend money and you want the highest ROI, how can Real Green Marketing help serve our customers by segmenting their current base?
Sure. So, the transition in 10, 15 years ago, the marketing mailing approach was what we would call the shotgun approach, where you would mail hundreds of thousands of marketing pieces, and you would have a lower ROI. So again, part of our cycle of trying to make direct mail be a strong way of reaching our customers, this last fall and this last spring, we focused on what we call a profile system, where we're actually taking your active customer database and we're looking at them over 26 different characteristics: age, income, home value, number of kids, the whole gamut of who they are. We're trying to figure out who your customer is and who's buying lawn care from you. And then once we knew that, we were able to take that information and apply that over your marketing universe, or help you buy marketing records that met those characteristics. So we can go out into your top zip codes and identify marketing prospects that have the same age, have the same income value, and have the same characteristics. And what we did in our system, which was the most valuable part of that process, is we could flag them or identify them in your marketing universe as this guy is what we would call a decile 1. He's in the top 10% of people most likely to buy lawn care from you because he matches the most check boxes of all of your active customers. So then as we were doing direct mail campaigns for them, we could go into their marketing system and grab all their, hey, I'm just going to mail to my decile 1s, 2s, and 3s because that's going to give me my best bang for my buck. So we'll only pull those out of the system and mail to them. And hopefully that'll improve our ROI. So this is the first year we've really used the decile approach. So this summer we'll spend a lot of time looking at those analytics and identifying if that really helped. And it's a great way of helping our customers make their marketing dollars work harder for them and go farther for them. So we might be mailing less for them because we're filtering who we're mailing to, but we're probably going to get a stronger return, and we're going to focus that and do more mailings that way, I'm hoping, in the future.
In terms of decile, when I was at Scott's Miracle-Gro, we would often learn that birds of a feather flock together, and people like us do things like this, and it would be geographically clustered within the deciles. Is that still, for the most part, true, or do you decide out within postal routes who is the most prone to buy?
Well, to me, it's really, when we look at a marketing record or marketing universe, we kind of want to focus on where you do the most business. So I usually like to start in zip codes. Where do you have the most active number of customers? Because that's probably the zip code that you are the most credibility. Your trucks are driving around circles. So getting more customers within that, it also helps you because it makes your density tighter. You're doing more active customers in that area. So that combination of using the zip codes along with pulling out the best of the best in those zip codes. And you're right, it probably does kind of geographically isolate these subdivisions over those types of subdivisions. And you start to do a little bit more cluster mailing, but it's a combination of the three data points that you put together that's probably is where you're going to have the most success.
And in terms of identifying the return on investment, if Real Green customers use, software customers use our marketing services, we provide them the analytics in terms of understanding what the ROI is on each campaign. Is that true?
We do, yep. We can take their marketing records that they mail to and track it back to data points and Service Assistant to look at sell-through rate, cost per sale, cost per leads, actual dollars sold, that type of thing. We're spending a lot of effort these days to try to work on that closed loop marketing channel, whether it's digital, print, or a combination of all of the above, and really look at all of our cross-media email campaigns, direct mail campaigns, pay-per-click campaigns, kind of bringing all of those together, and then look at the ROI across the entire spectrum. It's really where we're trying to focus on the marketing services side.
One interesting aha that I learned a couple weeks ago was from my friend Kyle Flanagan at Lawn Aces. And Kyle has been a Scott's franchisee and a True Green franchisee and starting a brand new brand in Augusta, Georgia. And he's capitalizing on door to door, but it's a little bit different. He calls it a knock and walk. So he takes a leave behind door hanger with a handwritten note from it's a salesperson, but he dresses them in technician uniforms. They're in trucks, and it says, I'm here servicing in the neighborhood. Text or call me if I can help you out today. So what he's finding is they're not expecting to have a conversation on the door, but when you knock on that door, so many people are expecting deliveries from Amazon. They go to the door and they'll take it off, and that it's been highly successful for him. He's had no negative pushback because they don't have a door-to-door person standing there waiting to have a conversation. It's a knock and walk, and even if they do answer it immediately, he's back at the truck and they're talking across the lawn. But Real Green can offer our customers those door hanger, cloverleaf type sales materials as well.
Yes, we can print custom door hangers, and for us, it's really about branding. It's really trying to carry a consistent brand across all of those channels, whether it be an invoice, a leave behind, a door hanger, or a marketing piece. I always reference what I call the brand triangle. Your truck is the biggest rolling brand thing you have. So identifying your truck with your posting sign in the yard and your website are really those three front-facing pieces of your brand that customers see on a day in and day out basis. So in a scenario like that, he's really tapping into an established brand identity. So leaving a branded door hanger behind, it's just another vehicle of hey, we're here. Here's we have an offer for you. We can solve your lawn care problems. Make a phone call. So so he's had success because he's probably worked year after year of establishing a brand, and then that door hanger is just reinforcing it and just another vehicle on how to make a phone call.
One other marketing campaign that worked really well for us at Scott's, and as a homeowner, it kind of creeped me out, but I don't recall ever having a negative phone call about it. We called it the Bug in the Bag campaign. And we would take the Real Green clear bag hangers and we would have an insert in there, but we would also put an actual bug in the lawn, a chinch bug, a grub worm, something that you could find a bug on the lawn and you'd smash it and put it in the bag and then talk about it to the consumer. It's like that visual representation of this is actually what's on your lawn. Do we still see that as a trend?
I have not done too many of those in the past, so that would be one of those resources. I don't know if I have a person that can put a bug in a bunch of bags for somebody, but as a one-to-one relationship with a sales guy or a guy doing a door hanger or a technician, sure. Again, you're just putting a problem in front of them and giving them a solution. And if they realize it's a problem, it's all, that's a benefit for them, then that could make a sale very easily. Sure.
You talked about door signs. This was really interesting. Joe Cusick and I visited Mosquito Joe in Richmond, Virginia about 4 years ago. And they were among the first of the mosquito brands to use the real estate signs. They would have another posting sign, but they would leave this real estate size sign that says this lawn is protected by Mosquito Joe, and it became a status thing. And Joe Cusick and I said, that's an expensive lawn sign. And they go, no, it's not, because the customers don't take them down. It's like the cheapest billboard you are ever going to find. I don't understand why really it seems like to me, only the mosquito brands have picked up on this. Do you see it across any other green industries using the larger size?
We've been using them for years, actually, and Joe was one of the ones that would kind of promote that. As we just used to do a campaign where we would offer them $5 if they left a sign in the yard for the month, or $10 off of their account if they left one of those signs in the yard for a week or a month or something like that. And we've done that here and there periodically as a thing. But the signs are a little bit more expensive than our yard posting signs. So is it it's $5-10 for a sign? There's always a tendency to want to go get it and pick it back up. But being able to just leave it behind and say, hey, put this out in your yard for a week or a month is if they can get customers to do that, a beautiful campaign.
Absolutely. What I thought was especially funny was we walked through their warehouse and they had an organic brand, which was essentially peppermint oil, which to my knowledge, doesn't work all that well on mosquitoes. And then they had their traditional brand, which the active ingredient was Bifin by BASF, but they said many customers were paying for the traditional Bifin treatments, but they wanted the leave behind to say, this lawn organically protected by Mosquito Joe. So they were willing to pay extra and keep the organic sign up, but they didn't want any mosquitoes.
Right, right.
What else do you have new on the horizon? Anything that Real Green Print is working on right now that might benefit our customers this season?
So I was just about ready to mention, as we were talking about the door hanger as a campaign, we have got a really beautiful software solution inside Service Assistant that we call Neighborhood Production Postcards. It is the software solution to cloverleaf marketing, and we're mailing a small 5x4 type of a postcard as a first-class piece. So if you can give us your active customers that you're going to be treating in the next couple days, we can get a postcard out and into the mail to the 6 or 7 or marketing prospects that are around that active customer. So it's a beautiful timing cloverleaf piece that I can hit all of your neighbors of an active customer within a day or two after your truck sat out front for a time period. You're posting signs there. They did the yard next door, and I've got a postcard in my hand that gives me 50% off of a neighborhood special type of postcard. So timing for that right now is we have a lot of those going out on a daily basis. You upload data from us from Service Assistant, we get those in the mail within 48 hours, almost 42 to 3 days at the latest. So that's a beautiful campaign as you're doing your rounds, your production rounds of round ones, and now we're into round 2 for some people, or 3, but it's still great while it's in the sales season. In Michigan we have the dandelions. Boy, if I can put a neighborhood card next door and my yard doesn't have dandelions and yours does, that's a pretty good timing piece right there. So that's a strong one. And as we go into,
what's the average price of those? I know it depends on volume, but any idea the range?
So we don't charge them based on volume. I would prefer you mail a smaller quantity. So our price for those are 52 cents a piece. And we want you to mail, it's a timing piece. So it's not really a direct mail marketing campaign where you want to mail a couple thousand of them. You want to mail 250 of them, or 500.
Targeted around the production. Okay.
That's exactly. So we just made it as a software solution. You go right into the system, a couple clicks, you upload the data to us, and we print it on your branded little postcard and put them in the mail, and they'll hit homes in 1 to 4 days from the time we get your data. So
that's fantastic. And that certainly speaks to the birds of a feather flock together. And as I recall, that piece makes mention that we do your property, or isn't there an address on it?
Yeah, we call it a neighborhood production. So we're referencing that we're treating these people in your neighborhood. So we're actually listing active customers that we're treating that are within a radius of that marketing prospect. So we'll get anybody on that street that we're treating, and then sometimes it's might be a street or 2 over, but we're listing, and that's some credibility too, because we're actually giving that prospect a reference of a lawn that we've treated. So it just adds to an instant credibility, and wow, you're actually giving me a reference I didn't even ask. So it has a strong following for a certain time period during the marketing growing season.
Are you familiar with the Nextdoor app?
I am, yep.
And
yep.
That's so popular. I've probably followed it more while we've been in quarantine because I need things done around my house. I've spent a ton of money on that. But I see a lot on lawn care, and exactly what you just described is what people are saying. Who else on who are you using for lawn care on our street? And it is a big driver. Referral has always been, we know that they retain longer. We know that the person that referred them retained longer. And this is a very inexpensive way to scale referrals.
I was just looking at my Nextdoor Neighbor app and had the exact same thing just last week. Someone say, who do you use for lawn care? And there was lots of answers, lots of choice, lots of people chimed in.
I hope they were all our customers.
They were actually.
Good, good. And now that Michigan is essential, everyone can have their lawn treated there.
That's right. That's right. Go, go, go.
And how would, what's the best way for our customers to reach out to your team and capitalize on some of these real quick turnaround mid-season marketing campaigns?
Just call the 1-800 number and ask for the printing marketing department. And there's 4 girls that will answer the phone and point you in the right direction.
And if I've never done the neighborhood marketing postcards, which I think is brilliant from a customer acquisition standpoint and so low cost, how long does it take if I call you today and I decide I want to get that going? How long does it take to turn those around?
Usually the first order is the hardest because we're going to add the artwork to it and the branding and make the postcard for you. But once that first job's done, you can upload on a Monday morning, and we'll have that postcard in the mail by Wednesday usually, because it's really you're uploading the data. We just have to merge it to the background image and print and mail.
That's fantastic. That, to me, that's a no-brainer, especially for people who are saying it's a long tail of marketing and I want to capitalize on it right now.
Yep.
Very good. Dave, I really appreciate everything you and your team do. Whenever I'm at trade shows and we talk to our competitors, others who sell software in this space, 100% of the time they say, the one thing Real Green does better than us is your marketing team that works hand in hand every single time. So when your competitors say that, they're hearing it from their prospects all the time. So I've always known that, having been at Scott's, but I know it gives us a competitive advantage, and you guys do a terrific job, and that's how our customers continue to grow.
Well, and when we do an order for a customer, we have a personal motivation there too, because we're in the business of selling marketing services, so we need to do everything we can to make your marketing campaign successful. And when that happens, you're a happy camper because you've got new customers, and we get to be a happy camper because then you just come back and order more the last time, because now you have a much stronger confidence level that it works for you. So
I can remember being at an enterprise sale prospect, and Brian Warwick was doing a demo about neighborhood marketing, and they had brought their marketing department, and they said, so then we have to export this out and we have to find a printer. And Brian's like, no. It all fits together if you're a Real Green customer, but it really is a competitive advantage. And I know when Joe Cusick introduces the concept of Real Green, everyone will say, oh, you're a green industry software. And Joe always says, we help businesses grow. And the way we do that is by partnership with everything Real Green Marketing does.
Yeah. And Joe's always been a strong proponent of, you market your business 12 months a year, and you grow your lawn care business 12 months a year. And we have adopted that philosophy, and we've put together a plan that basically starts in September and hits all of the major campaigns that you need to do over the next year. We start with your data. We do data management, clean that up for you. Then we go into your prepay letter campaigns, and then your cancels and your estimates not sold campaigns, and then your new acquisition campaigns, and then your upsell campaigns. So we've put together pretty much a 12-month marketing calendar plan for people, and do that day in and day out. And then and it's really just applying the best practices, all of the different marketing techniques that we've been doing year after year that we know work, and when they work and how they should be implemented and executed, and try to help those customers get that plan on paper, and then together as a team with them, we execute it over the next 12 months.
Nobody knows lawn care software better than Real Green, and nobody knows lawn care marketing better than you guys, and together we're pretty formidable. So we appreciate your partnership and everything you do to help software customers.
You bet.
All right, we'll talk soon.
Thank you. Thanks, Beth.
Thanks, Dave.